On the 3rd of May, troops in Olamaboro local government area of Kogi State tracked kidnappers to their Dego trailer park, neutralized 2 of them, and rescued a civilian victim with a ransom bag among items recovered. On the 6th of May, a suspected ammunition courier was arrested on the Obajana Lokoja Road carrying 500 rounds of 7.62 millimeter NATO ammunition concealed within a bag of maize. He confessed to routinely ferrying arms to terrorist groups along the River Niger corridor with instructions to deliver them to Diko Junction in Niger State. On the same day, 17 kidnapped victims were rescued along the Okene-Magongo Road in Kogi State, following a swift response to distress reports. On the 10th of May, a well-coordinated ambush at Ogbagbo in Lokoja local government area neutralized 1 terrorist and yielded the recovery of 2 AK-47 rifles, a fabricated pistol, 6 magazines, 145 rounds of ammunition, a motorcycle, medical supplies, and cash. The subsequent phase of operations between the 15th and the 22nd produced a comprehensive campaign of anti-crime operations that further consolidated the security gains achieved across the theater. On the 16th of the month, 7 kidnapped victims held since 10th of May were rescued from the Adankolo Forest Reserve and the Moshalashi Boka general areas with immediate first aid administered before family reunification, and a large terrorist logistic consignment destined for insurgents within the Agbaja forest was intercepted and abandoned by a fleeing courier on the 20th of May. The next day, on the 21st, a targeted cordon and search operation in Gbese town in Kasinala local government area of Benue State resulted in the arrest of 4 suspected terrorist collaborators and the recovery of a motorcycle, mobile phones, and military camouflage uniforms. To completely paralyze the operational capacity of criminal syndicates, troops intensified operations targeting the collaborative networks and support structures of the terrorists. Then on the next day, the 21st, troops executed a high-stakes raid around the Felele area in Lokoja. The operation resulted in the successful arrest of 2 suspected terrorist logistics suppliers and marabouts who were actively providing spiritual fortification and material supplies to criminal elements operating within the Agbaja forest. Troops recovered 4 vigilante ID cards, 2 NIN slips, 2 ATM cards, 2 machetes, 2 mobile phones, assorted herbal and pain relief medications, and the sum of 21,000 naira. All the suspects are currently under interrogation so that in order to dismantle their cell. Now to the Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe. Troops of Operation Delta Safe sustained a multi-domain offensive across Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Delta, Edo, and River states throughout the period, dismantling kidnapping networks and criminal economic saboteurs targeting Nigeria's petroleum infrastructure. In all, 14 criminals were arrested, 3 illegal refining sites were destroyed, while 21,910 liters of assorted petroleum products were removed. Significantly, in Edo State, troops responded with speed and precision to a kidnapping incident in Owan East local government area on the 30th of April, forcing kidnappers to flee. They rescued the victims, destroyed the criminal camp, and handed 2 arrested suspects to the Nigerian police. A night patrol in Esan Southeast local government area secured a kidnapped victim abandoned by flame patrols. And a follow-up tip-off operation in Emu Forest on the 1st of May arrested 4 additional suspects. While on the 3rd of May, troops who responded to a commercial vehicle ambush on the Okbela-Okene Highway rescued 5 victims in total, preventing the kidnappers from escaping with their captives, with 2 survivors receiving immediate medical treatment. A landmark joint at the kidnapping raid on the 5th of May 2026 in Esan Southeast local government, conducted with the Nigerian Police, Edo State Security Corps, hunters, and vigilante groups, arrested 9 suspected kidnappers and handed all to the police for prosecution. Then on the 10th of May, troops in Ikotabasi local government area intercepted approximately 1,500 liters of stolen automotive gas oil from an illegal depot in Ikotabasi local government area of Akwa Ibom State, which they returned to the rightful company. On the 13th of May, troops deployed at Ahoada West local government area intercepted approximately 600 meters of galvanized pipes functioning as a crude oil theft line in Ahoada West local government area of Rivers State. On the same day, troops uncovered 130 sacks containing an estimated 7,800 liters of illegal crude oil in Onelga local government area, affirming the comprehensive reach of the Navy and Armed Forces of Nigeria's economic protection mandate. On the 15th of May, a systematic clearance of the Uwalo-Oke forest in a San Northeast local government area of Edo State, the Udo Government Reserve Forest, and the Emu Forest in a San Southeast local government area resulted in the arrest of 9 suspects, the capture of a locally made long barrel gun, and the recovery of ammunition components and motorcycles. In Delta State, a reactivated illegal oil refining site was dismantled in the Amukwe area of Sapele local government area with approximately 3,000 liters of illicitly siphoned crude oil seized. The most operationally significant action of the phase came on the 21st of May in a Leme local government area of Rivers State, where a high-precision anti-illegal bunkering operation near the Leme Petrochemical Company intercepted a sophisticated criminal convoy comprising 2 Sienna vehicles, 2 minibuses, a Mitsubishi bus, and a Camry sedan. Every vehicle found to be heavily modified and packed with stolen premium motor spirit in concealed compartments. Drivers were arrested alongside security personnel who were caught facilitating the illegal transit. All suspects and seized vehicles were transferred directly to sector headquarters for a full-scale joint investigation into the broader oil theft syndicate, signaling the armed forces of Nigeria's absolute determination to protect Nigeria's hydrocarbon assets from organized criminal exploitation. Now let us look at Joint Task Force North Central Operation, Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka. Troops of Operation Udoka maintain an assertive operational posture across Abia, Anambra, and Ebonyi states, systematically degrading the residual capacity of the proscribed IPOB ESN secessionist terrorist organization, while concurrently combating violent criminality and illegal economic extraction. In all, 3 terrorists were neutralized, 60 terrorists were arrested, and 18 civilians were rescued. Significantly, on the 30th of April, operations in Aruchukwu local government area of Abia State resulted in the arrest of a suspected IPOB ESN gun runner found in possession of illegal Biafran currency notes which is a direct evidence of the organization's continued, albeit rapidly diminishing efforts to sustain a parallel financial infrastructure within the region. On the 10th of May, clearance operations in Urumba North local government area of Anambra State yielded the recovery of a locally made Dane gun during the search of a suspect's residence, with troops continuing to dominate the general area and deny separatist elements freedom of movement. On the 13th of May, following the abduction of a civilian from the Ohia Forest area, the Nomuahia South local government area of Abia State, troops pursued the kidnappers as they attempted to cross the Aba-Port Harcourt Expressway, apprehending one suspect who was found in possession of 830,000 naira only and a mobile phone. The suspect was handed over to the anti-cult department of the Nigerian police, and the manhunt for his accomplices is currently ongoing. Between 18th to the 21st of May, troops of Operation Udoka extended operations into Ebonyi State with equally resolute results. On the 18th of May, a night patrol in the Ibiagu area of Izi local government area intercepted two suspicious individuals transporting a concealed container. When they were challenged, the suspects fled, abandoned a locally fabricated pistol and live ammunition, which were secured as exhibits. On the 19th of May, 4 illegal miners engaged in the unauthorized extraction of mineral resources were arrested in Ivo local government area with a mini truck, heavy-duty sapper cables, and an automobile battery was recovered. Subsequently, a community mob attempted to obstruct the lawful arrest and transport of the suspects. However, troops demonstrated exemplary professional restraint, firing 2 controlled warning shots to safely disperse the unlawful assembly and ensuring all suspects were delivered for prosecution without any casualties. On the 22nd, troops deployed at FOB Izombe responded to a distress call regarding a kidnap incident along the Oguta-Owerri Road in Oguta local government area of Imo State. Troops also aggressively trailed the criminals to their hideouts in the Okohia-Umeoji forest, engaging them in a fierce shootout that forced the kidnappers to flee and abandon their captives. While 3 victims were successfully rescued unharmed, troops recovered a sum of 987,500 naira, 5 mobile phones, and 2 power banks from the scene, which have been transferred to relevant law enforcement custody alongside the rescued victims. Now, as part of one of the pillars of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, we will now look at the Armed Forces civil-military relations activities. In furtherance of the Armed Forces' enduring commitment to non-kinetic and humanitarian engagements, the Nigerian Air Force intensified civil-military relations activities in Maiduguri through a comprehensive medical outreach program conducted in close collaboration with security and humanitarian partners. The program extended free medical consultations, dental and eye care, medications and specialist referrals for severe cases to hundreds of residents, including women, children, and elderly members of the community, alongside the distribution of relief materials and structured health education sessions. The initiative forms part of a broader non-kinetic strategy deliberately designed to complement active kinetic operations by building public trust, promoting enduring peace, and extending targeted support to flood victims and internally displaced persons in Maiduguri and surrounding communities across the Northeast Theater of Operations. Complementing these humanitarian efforts, on the 13th of May, the Nigerian Army, through Operations Fansanyama, donated 400 bags of fertilizer to farming communities in Maru local government area of Zamfara State in a timely and impactful intervention aimed at boosting food production and reinforcing civil-military relations ahead of the 2026 farming season. At a distribution ceremony held at the palace of the Emir of Maru, the Nigerian Army reaffirmed the armed forces of Nigeria's unwavering commitment to improving community livelihoods through non-kinetic initiatives that run in parallel with active security operations. Representatives of the local government and the Emirate Council warmly commended the gesture as a vital and tangible support to farmers burdened by rising input costs and the persistent challenge of insecurity in the region. Beneficiaries were also urged to maximize the resources provided for a productive harvest, while residents were encouraged to sustain and strengthen their cooperation with security agencies by providing timely and actionable intelligence in support of ongoing operations. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the operational outcomes recorded across all the theaters during the period constitute an irrefutable and resounding testament to the strategic clarity, the combat effectiveness, and resolve of the armed forces of Nigeria. From the sustained neutralization of the Boko Haram ISWAP formations in the northeast and the interdiction of bandit networks across the northwest, to the rescue of over 100 kidnapped civilians across the north central, the dismantling of illegal arms manufacturing networks, the seizure of sophisticated oil theft convoys in the south-south, and the systematic degradation of separatist criminal elements in the southeast. The armed forces has demonstrated a comprehensive and growing operational capability that decisively engages the full spectrum of threats that confront the country. Overall, 118 terrorists and criminals were neutralized during the month of May. 314 suspects were arrested. 221 civilians were rescued. 18 terrorists surrendered. 93 arms were also recovered. We destroyed 3 illegal refining sites, while 21,910 liters of assorted petroleum products were recovered. It is pertinent to state that the Chief of Defense Staff acknowledges the recent kidnapping incident within Oyo State. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, extends his heartfelt sympathy and solidarity to the affected families, the government, and good people of Oyo State, reaffirming that the armed forces views any threat to civilian peace as an intolerable affront to national sovereignty. In immediate response to those incidents and several others, the Chief of Defense Staff has directed a comprehensive security reinforcement across the general area, utilizing advanced aerial surveillance assets and mobilizing specialized ground forces in close coordination with other state authorities. Proactive operational steps are already yielding valuable intelligence, and troops will maintain a relentless posture until the perpetrators are brought to account and the region's security is completely restored. A comparative analysis of armed forces activities for the period covering March, April, and May is shown on the screen. It shows a mixed bag of achievements. While there was a drop